computer because I'm not. Can you hear me? Hey, Jacqueline, can you hear? Thank you, front desk. Hi, I missed you last night.
Yeah, me too.
Hi, Jack. How was India?
It was so good. I was just telling Becky that it was like hotter here half the time than it was there. Because we were there the first 2 weeks of July. It was like crazy. I was like all prepared for the extreme heat, and then I was like, oh, the extreme heat's actually in Philadelphia. Hey, good morning. I'm joining the front row next.
It just means you got here late.
Exactly. I was about to say, this is not intentional. Last time Larry was like, this is on purpose and you to get here late. I'm like, I got late.
This is a time.
Right in the front, a lot less
I never was like a front of the yoga room person at all until we came back from the studio post
COVID?
COVID. And I was like, I'm gonna go over into this sort of area near a window. Like
I
not
like
even
the
though
light up here. That's smart.
It depends on what class I'm in. If I'm in burials class, I'm always in the back.
yeah.
Um, Ever since I started going to Larry's 5 o'clock like 12 years ago, I was always like over here.
Right.
And it's just weird. It's like your class in school, you know, your seat.
Yeah, for me, I like the flat wall. I don't like
Me too. I do prefer the flat wall. I mean, I remember.
Well, that's interesting because if I do a drop back, if I walk down the wall,
Oh, the brick's way easier for that. Yeah.
because my hands get
I feel like you slide more on the brick wall too.
You do? Huh.
Yeah. Or at least I do.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just navigating the bar. If you
Yeah,
want to like
that's
walk
enough.
stretch on
Yeah.
the wall.
That's why I end up having it this.
Right.
Put it in front of me.
because it makes sense, like with rock climbing, how you have handholds. That would be
Yeah.
easier. I just don't like. I just want to do it all.
Oh, I've been on our feet where you
What did you all do last night?
here it is.
Huh?
I actually do remember this when I got I don't think it's here. He kept me kind of asking first that
We did Y-legged forward fold. I remember that. That's not unusual. You wanted to do agile.
Yeah, yeah.
Travelers, I think I need.
Can be Yasana too.
He was saying that it was possible, but I don't know if it didn't necessarily felt like really. I'm not kidding you that
Huh?
I'm not kidding you that
I wasn't here Thursday, so.
I was here.
I overslept on Thursday. I woke up at 7:30 and I could get there, but you know.
We did start a little even later than
Oh, here you go.
It's all about seeing it. Yeah, it's really remote, which is great. All remote exercises, like everything.
They are. They are. No, I mean he's thrilled about it. We was at like a weekend long summer soccer camp at Penn this weekend. I just dropped him and his friends off this morning. It was like 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night last night, 8:30 to like 9 or 10 tonight, and then again tomorrow, like 8 a.m. to 2.
So it's beautiful. When I have to go there, it's like
So he's in hot heaven. Water, like, miserable. And then my daughter, like, one of her cousins is at the shore with my in-laws, so they took her.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Nice.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Give it to you.
Minimal violence into scheduling. But I should be
What's up, y'all? Anything you want to do today? Any postures, body parts? You're new today? Every time, right? What I think I say is there anything anybody wants to do today? But what comes out is anybody new today? Well, welcome. Yeah. They're both important. Yeah.
In honor of Guy, can we do a chair pose? Because it's like the
Oh, we're kind of keeping the spot over me. Okay. Okay. All right.
twisted maybe.
Twisted? Okay. Okay. All right, twisted chair. That's a hell of a class to build off of. All right. Right. Right.
Like in gymnastics.
Right, exactly. I was like, for Twistful Guy, should we do Birds of Paradise?
I've been trying to be nice in this hot spell, but like Birds of Paradise is a ton of work. I mean, for sure.
We haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, we can mess with it. Yeah. Birds of Paradise is going to be like hamstrings, going to be adductors, balance.
How about boat pose?
Boat pose?
Boat.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Navasana, yeah. We'll do a little arta too. We'll even lay, I always do the up and down, so we can play with that a little bit. All right. Anything else? That's a lot. That's a lot. All right, take a nice seat. Close the eyes. Sit up tall. You know, we come here to do the work, right? That's part of it. I mean, yoga is exercise. It just happens to be a little deeper than some of the other different movements or types of movements that we do that falls in, like, that realm of exercise. Yoga's a little bit different. It's meant to be very conscious. Everything we do is always in service of that alignment, right? We don't get in like, some of you might know what AMRAP is. It's as many reps as possible, right? We don't really do that, right? That's not our thing in yoga. We want as many like pure and aligned and focused, right? That's what we're looking for. Those are the reps that we're looking for in our practice, not just trying to get numbers. So there is that deeper thought to this practice. Does that make it easier? No. It's a whole nother challenge. But yoga's fun. So it all falls in line. Are there going to be times that are easy for you? Yes. Are there going to be times that are going to be more challenging? Yes. And we honor those different moments. And you always hear me talk about the middle of the hourglass, right? It's the middle of the hourglass. It's right here, right now, in this moment. So the easiest way to come to this moment is turn to your breath. Listen to yourself breathe. Your breath is right now. We don't have to concentrate on our breath, right? It's subconscious. It happens. But when we focus on it, we can use it in different ways. We can use the inhale to lift and open and expand and fire up. We could use the exhale to hold, support, to open, to reach, to bend, to fold, to twist, whatever we might be doing. And the play between the two. So from listening to yourself breathe, to slowing down the beginning of the inhale and pushing more on the end of the exhale, to counting out the breath. The inhale's 2 or 3 seconds, make the exhale the same 2 or 3 seconds. All the way up to Ujjayi breath, where the air rebounds off the back of the throat. Find where you need to be with your breath in this moment. But remember, with each breath, a new moment. Feel the breath turn to movement. On the inhale, let the arms lift. And let the exhale bring the thumbs to touch, and then the pinkies, and the pointer fingers, and the ring fingers, and the middle fingers. It's like the petals of the lotus closing. And one time together to initiate our practice. Together, the sound of Om. All together. Deep breath in. Beautiful. As we softly bow our head to our hearts, our heads to each other's hearts. Inhale, lift the head, open the eyes, release the hands. Nice Om. All right, let's meet child's pose. Big toe mounds touch, knees are wide. Pointer fingers are straight forward or turned out a little bit. Now, we use child's pose for a few different things. What we're going to use child's pose, we're going to be a little more active or dynamic in our child's pose here. So make sure your arms are to the outside of your shoulders. The pointer fingers are straight forward or turned out. Start clawing into the floor, so heavy underneath your fingertips and your knuckle pads. And you're going to hug the hands into the midline. When you hug the hands into the midline, you start to pull energy up the arms. Now keep the forearms lifting up. Keep the inner biceps lifting up. Whenever you lift your inner biceps, whether you're in child's pose here or you're going to be in downward dog in a little bit, it takes the shoulders out away from the neck. We want that. It's broadening the upper back and the chest. Now slide your forehead off the mat so you start to engage the muscles in the neck, the muscles in the upper back. You feel between your shoulder blades, like from head to butt, like north to south, you feel that starting to engage. Keep that. And as you push the hands down and forward, root the sit bones towards the heels. Now we're going to anchor them there. Now start to breathe up the side bodies like you're peeling out of your waist. And as you look forward, walk your hands to the right side of your mat. Reroot left sit bone to left heel, and then open up that left side body. If you take a big inhale and you start to breathe up in through the ribs, that's going to make space. It's going to start to like expand. And then as you walk your hands to the right a little bit further, you keep deepening that peel, that opener. And then inhale, come back to center, soften down the middle. When you're ready, walk your hands towards the left side of the mat. Then we'll root right sit bone to right heel, and we'll start to peel up the right side body. You got QL is right above your pelvis on the outside. You got spinal erectors that run up your spine. You're opening up the ones on the right side. Your lats, they're running from like low and middle all the way up. It attaches up into your humerus, your arm bone. So you feel that. And then inhale, come back to center. Intercostals are your muscles between your ribs. Right? We're feeling all that stuff start to peel. Soften down the middle. Next inhale, come up, all fours, hands and knees. Hands an inch or two in front of your shoulders, knees an inch or two behind your hips. Fingers are spread evenly. Toes are curled. Start to charge it up. This is low mountain, right? We're not hanging out. I tell you this all the time. If I try to move Trina right now, I'm going nowhere, right? Look how solid this is. Hugging muscle to bone. So hug the forearms into the midline. Squeeze the biceps. That's going to support the elbow joint. Integrate the head of the arm bone into the shoulder socket so we're nice and solid. Yep. In the low body, sweep the inner heels out. Hug the shins in. Pull your heels to your butt. That's your hamstrings when you pull your heels to your butt. Pull your belly to your spine. Shutters are closed. So if you're not sure where your shutters are, right here, top of your ribs, they're going to want to, bottom of your ribs, the top of the ab, they're going to try to blow open. You got to close the shutters. Now breathe. And then with all this space, work your cat-cow. Inhale, arch the back, lift the sit bones, reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, round the back, look to your belly, lengthen your sit bones towards your heels. Your inhale, arch, your exhale, round. Start linking the breath to movement. So if the inhale is 2 seconds, that's how long we want to go through that whole arch. Exhale 2 seconds, go through the round. Just move slow. On the inhale, heads of the arm bones are going to root nice and deep. Sit bones are going to blossom or spread, right? We widen the back body there. And then on that exhale, as you look to your belly, that's how you get into your neck, your cervical spine, or even your thoracic spine, your middle upper back. And then sit bones to the backs of the knees is going to be lumbar, your low back. One more, and then come to a neutral position. So find that flat back. Low mountain, right? Lock it in. Should even start to feel the muscles quivering a little bit as they're under tension. Time under tension, right? That's how we get stronger. And when you're ready, step back to plank, take a breath, and then make your way back to downward dog. First downward dog, you could soften up the dog, bend the knees, pedal the heels, swivel the feet, whatever feels good. And then come to neutral. Then take a look at those hands. Make sure pointer fingers are still pointing straight forward or turned out that little bit. Spread the fingers evenly. Just like we did before when we weren't as weight-bearing. Now we're more weight-bearing, so it's a little more challenging. But keep hugging the hands in. Keep the forearms lifting up. Keep the inner biceps lifting up. Slide your throat, like the back of your throat, towards where the ceiling and the wall meet at the front of the room. You're going to activate the muscles in the neck. We don't want our chin just fall into the midline, right? That's our misalignment of life, our head falling forward. So activate the muscles in the back of the neck and in the upper back. Pull your belly to your spine, pull your shutters closed. Engage your legs, and then reach from the hip down the back of the legs and out of the bottom of the heels. And then inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. Let's do 5 of these. So we'll do 3 more. Take your time, move slowly. Remember that 2-second thing or that 3 seconds? That's how long we want to drive into plank. That's how long we want it to take to push back to downward dog. Because that's the length of our breath, right? We're moving with our breath. On your 5th one, as you come forward, let the exhale lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. Take 3 nice breaths. Really squeeze those shoulders back. See, I don't want this to happen. This is the common tendency. We got to be this way. Shoulders back and down. And then after your 3 breaths, lower the chest, push up through plank, back to downward dog. Take the right hand to the outside of the left calf or shin there. Yep. Keep pushing your left hand down and forward. Maybe start to peek underneath that left arm for the twist. Inhale, unwind, place the hand down, push it down and forward. Then take the left hand to the outside of that right shin or thigh. Yeah, keep taking your hips back to where the ceiling and the wall meet at the back of the room. Inhale, unwind. Next inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra. 3 nice breaths. We're trying to really activate that upper back. After your 3 breaths, back to chaturanga or lower your chest. Push up through plank, back to downward dog. Reach the right leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Sit nice and high on your fingertips of your blocks. Give yourself that space. It's all about the spine, right? See, here's what we're looking for. Neutral spine, like Tadasana. What wants to happen? This. Yeah, we don't want that, right? We're not trying to reinforce that. That's our misalignment of life, right? Another one of them. So we want to really work that spine neutral. Now fire up your legs. Keep pushing down and hugging in. The hugging in front to back is front heel back, back toes forward. The side to side is hugging shins into the midline, even though they're not next to each other. The top and bottom is you pushing down, right? So you just keep pushing down into your feet. Draw that left hip forward a little bit. Yep, pull that pelvic floor up, work that all the way up from root chakra to crown. And as you reach out of the back heel, forward out of the front knee, forward out of the crown of the head. The exhale, lower the back knee. Inhale the arms in front, plug them in. Take them up overhead. Pull the pelvic floor up, like from your junk. Pull your belly in, like belly button. Pull your shutters closed. When you pull the shutters closed, you get the lift. Now let the right hand grab the left wrist. Take that little side bend to the right. Keep dragging the back knee forward. You're coming up the thigh. Now we got to get to psoas. You got to pull the belly in. You got to keep those shutters closed. And as you deepen the side bend, that's how we're getting into psoas. That's the main hip flexor. One more breath. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands down. Lift the back knee. Downward dog. full breath in, complete breath out. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through, lunge. Just make sure your hips width apart. Sometimes we step too narrow. Sometimes we step too wide, right? Where's your distance have to be? Now keep working that upper back. The trick is going to be to keep lifting that right thigh up, but soften the left one down. Try to get your thigh parallel with the floor, the best that you can. You're welcome. And then reach out of the back heel, forward out of the front knee and the crown of the head. Yeah, keep bringing your right hip forward. Yep, and then soften this down. Go slow, bend that knee forward more. Yeah, right there. Micro bend this. That'll change it too. Exhale, lower the back knee. Inhale the arms in front. Then take the arms up overhead. Keep your right hip lifting up and your left hip softening down. Yep, pull your pelvic floor up again. Pull your belly button in, pull the shutters closed. There's the lift through the spine. Then the left hand grabs the right wrist and you take the side bend to the left. See, psoas attaches on the inside of your thigh to the ribs and the spine back here. So this is shortening the space. When you pull the ribs closed and you feel the lift, that's where the length's coming from. Then as we side bend over, right, that's how we get the stretch. It's hard to stretch something that kind of looks like that, right? And that's how your psoas goes through your body. That's a challenge. One more breath. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, the hands down. Lift the back knee. Downward dog. Work through your vinyasa one time. So as we flow through the vinyasa, right, a little more of a challenge. This looks nice, y'all. Look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands, swing your arms up, take a nice big reach. Draw that belly in, lengthen sit bones down. That protects your low back. Reach up through your thumbs. Yeah, now maybe curl back in the pose a little bit. Inhale, come up. Exhale, right hand behind your back, left hand to your elbow. Take your sacrum back. Here's your sacrum. All right, top of your pelvis here. It wants to do this. We got to go this way. So it'd be better to hinge at your hip crease and lean forward a little bit. Then push your head back into your forearm. Then you can start to stand up a little straighter. And then draw your fingers up to intensify that stretch a little bit. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left behind, right hand to your elbow. Push your head back into your forearm. Yep. Here's your tricep. This is stretching when you draw your fingers up, but I've told you all a lot. This is the muscle I'm trying to go for in opening this up, this lat. That will do, see if I overengage my lats, see what'll happen, internal rotation. So we got to make sure that opens up so we can settle back a little bit more. Exhale, release. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step the right leg back, lunge. Keep the right hand down, draw the left elbow back, take the twist. So same thing in the legs, right? You got to keep the top of that right thigh lifting up. Well, it's a lot easier if you soften that left thigh down. And now the twist is above the waist, so you can't let the hip drop on. You breathe out of the crown of the head, then twist open, maybe start to look up. Inhale, come back to center. Push from your right foot into your left heel as you step forward. Keep the knees bent. Reach the left leg back. Reach out of your heel. Extend out of the hip. Yep, left hand stays down. Right elbow draws back. Keep rooting the left shoulder back by turning the bicep forward to the front of the room. Yes. Keep that left hip lifting up. Don't let it drop on you. Then breathe forward out of the crown of the head and then start to look up towards the sky. Yes, inhale, come back to center. Push from your left foot to your right heel as you step forward. Swing the arms up, big reach. Sit back, chair pose. I forgot last night's too. I totally forgot. Now, keep sitting back. There it is. Take the right hand, go all the way across your body. Bring it to the outside of the thigh. Let the left hand meet Anjali Mudra. Push the hands together. You want to extend it. The outside of the right hand goes to the outside of the left foot. Left hand goes to the sky. Yes. Inhale, come back to center. You know we're going for the whole thing. Sit back deeper. Take that left hand, go all the way across the body. That's how we get the space to make the twist efficient, optimal. Yes, push the hands together. Keep sitting back. You want to extend outside of the left hand to the outside of the right foot, right hand to the sky. One more breath. Inhale, come back to center. Sit back nice and deep. Yes, push down, rise up. Nice, y'all. Exhale, fold. Stay with your breath. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. Move through your vinyasa 3 times. Nice, y'all. Stay with it. Here's one of those moments, right? It's challenging. It's supposed to be challenging, right? We just linked a bunch of things up. Now we're flowing through our vinyasas. This is one of those moments, right? Just let it be tough. Stay with your breath. Honor the moment and just do your best, right? Just work through. Right? We never said yoga was easy. We just said it was fun, right? So there's a trade-off to that. When it's challenging, it's still fun. Nice pace. Your breath is 2 or 3 seconds, right? So that's how long it should take for all these movements. We'll meet back in downward dog. Reach the right leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Spin the back heel, come up, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. The balance beam means our front heel's in line with our back arch. We want to be on the balance beam. Back toes are slightly turned forward. Front toes are facing straight forward, and the knee is on top of the ankle. Now we're trying to get the knee to track the second toe, the one next to our big toe, but these are the muscles we're stretching, so this is a little bit of a challenge. So start from the root, feet, right? Work it up the legs, root the top of that left thigh back, like you're taking your left butt cheek towards the brick wall. Pull the belly button in. It's going to start to open the hip flexors first. Yeah. Now that we peeled up out of the waist, we can lengthen our sit bone towards our heel. And the knee will start opening out, or sweep your heel towards this wall over here. Yep, gaze right over the middle finger. Exhale the elbow to the thigh. Sweep the bicep up along the cheek. You want to go right hand down to the block or the floor to extend it down, go for it. You want to keep it on the knee? Awesome, wherever you want to be. Pull the belly in, pull the shutters closed. Now rotate top of the ribs back, bottom of the ribs forward, maybe even start to look up. One more breath. Inhale, come up to that warrior 2. Take a breath here. Then spin the hands down to the floor. Spin that back heel up. Downward dog. Nice, y'all. Right? Another one of those moments. It's challenging right now. Stay with your breath. Work, right, with your breath. Reach the left leg straight back. Step it through. Lunge. Spin the back heel, come up Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2, side 2. What wants to happen to that back thigh? This, right? So we got to go this way. Root it back, like you're sticking your right butt cheek back to the wall with the window and the door. Reach through the backhand just a little bit. We just don't want to be reaching forward here, right? We want to be nice and tall. Now get tall, above the waist. Only then can we start to do that little sit bone to heel thing. All right, because we made space. Bring your gaze right over the middle finger. There's not a lot of chill in this pose, right? This pose is pretty much full on. And then exhale the elbow to the thigh. Sweep the bicep up along the cheek. We're trying to make a line right up the leg, up the ribs and the upper trunk, up the arm, right out of the fingertips and the crown of the head. You want to take that left hand down to the block or the floor? Go for it. Pull the belly in. Pull those shutters closed. That. Now rotate open. Slow. Yes. One more breath. Push into that front heel. Come up tall into that Virabhadrasana 2. Gaze right over the middle finger. One breath. And then spin the hands down to the floor. Spin the back heel up. Downward dog. Move through one vinyasa. Stay with it. That's it. Follow the form. Beautiful, y'all. When you get back to downward dog, take a breath there, and then lower your knees, sit back on your heels, Vajrasana, child's pose, grab a drink, wipe your face, whatever feels good. Nice, y'all. Remember that shake, right? When you're holding those poses and those legs are shaking, that's good. Right? That's where we're getting stronger at. That's the edge. Full breath in, complete breath out, a few rounds. Yeah, whatever feels good. You're in child's pose and your arms are a little tired, take them below your heart, so along your legs. It just helps them rejuvenate a little quicker. And then when you're ready, inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down. We'll meet all fours wherever you're at. Actually, I'll tell you what, while we're here. So from all fours, you're going to bring your knees wide and your toes to touch. Then we're going to come back, sit bones to heels, like if we were going towards child's pose again. Then you're going to inhale, come up like all fours with your knees wide. Exhale, you're going to soften your pelvis to the floor. Inhale is going to push back up. Exhale, sit bones to heels. Inhale, come up. Exhale is going to soften. Inhale, pushes back up. Exhale, sit bone to heels. Keep it going. We'll do like 3 more. Opening up those adductors a little bit different way. It's a nice little clearing in the low back. That's it. Go slow. Control everything, right? Softening means control. Collapse means we don't have control, right? And we don't want that. Everything we're doing is conscious. And then on your last one, just meet back in child's pose. Take 3 breaths there. And then when you're ready, inhale, we'll all meet. Come forward, all fours, hands and knees. Another little opener on the inside of the thighs. That'll pay back, right? Some dividends later on when we work a little further into these postures. From all fours, meet in that low mountain. Take a couple breaths. Build it up nice and strong. Yep, when you're ready, step back to plank, and then back to downward dog. Roll to the outside of the right foot, stack the left foot on top or in front, come into side plank. Turn your bicep forward to root into the upper back, to integrate into the shoulder and the upper back there. Push out of the big toe mounts to fire up the legs into the hips. Vashisthasana goes left knee towards your chest. Take your 2 fingers between your big and your second toe. Kick your leg towards the wall over here with the window and the door. Then take it towards the sky. Or you could be here with the knee. Release the leg if it's there. Inhale, come back to plank. Push back, downward dog. Take a breath. Here we go. Roll to the outside of the left foot. Stack the right foot on top or in front. See, even when shit gets hard, you laugh, right? You chuckle a little bit. Shit's supposed to be fun, right? We don't beat ourselves up over this. It's a practice. We practice wherever we feel good at. Hug the right knee to the chest if you want to go into Vashi. Side plank is awesome, right? Just like Vashi's awesome. Same awesome. Kick your foot to the bricks first, then start to take it to the sky. Yes, release the leg. Inhale, come back to plank. Push back, downward dog. Move through one vinyasa. Y'all see the ebb and the flow, right? Sometimes we're on it. Sometimes we're going to chill. That's the game. Look forward, bend your knees, step or jump between your hands, swing your arms up. Big reach. Exhale the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Take a breath here. Fill the ribs. And then exhale, take the shoulders back. Yep, you can even take the hands away from your back a little bit here. Feel that peel right off the sternum, off your breastplate, through the chest, through the front of the shoulders. As you take your arms away from your back, you feel it come up the forearm and the biceps, chest a little bit. Exhale, release. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, take a nice big reach. Maybe curl back into it a little bit. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front, Anjali Mudra. Right leg forward, left leg back, Trikonasana, triangle. We're going to link this up into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, so keep your block handy. If you're not sure what half moon pose is, we're going to come up to here. All right, so my block would be my friend, because my block would be here, and I could lift up to here. All right, so I want to set that up. So keep your block handy if you're going to use that. All right, now in triangle, the distance is pretty far. So if you bend into your lead knee, we tend to go too short in this pose. So bend into your lead knee, come to your warrior two leg. Yeah, you see how short we are? Now straighten your legs back out. That's the triangle distance. That was challenging. If we had mirrors and you could see, you're taking your ankles underneath your wrists. That's how long we want to be. Now get nice and tall. Front toes are facing forward, back toes are slightly turned forward. Yep. As you get tall, you're peeling up out of the waist because we're about to hinge at the right side of that hip. When you're ready, take the hinge, bring the right hand down to the block or the floor. Don't let your right ear fall to the floor. Keep your left ear reaching up to the ceiling. Now, just like we did before, we root the thigh back, then we connect to the core, belly and shutters, then we start to rotate open, top of the ribs back, bottom of the ribs forward. Maybe we look up, challenge the balance even a little more. Inhale, come up. Bend into that lead knee, warrior two. Yep. Take that back hand around to the front hip crease like you're binding it. Yep. Take the top front arm up, come back into that reverse warrior. Yep. Inhale, come back up, release the bind, warrior two. Push the front leg straight. Get tall, hinge at the hip, come into triangle, Trikonasana. Exhale, left hand to your hip. Bend your front knee. You could either step up as you kick up in Ardha Chandrasana or drag your foot forward as you step up. It's going to bring more balance to it. Your hands out in front of you, the distance from your hip to your armpit. It's just your side body length. Kick your toes forward a little bit so if you look down your leg, you could see them. That's going to take the top of the thigh back. Now go right sit bone to right heel, start opening up. Yes, maybe start to look up and really play with that balance. Now scissor the legs and float back, standing triangle. Yep, take a breath, bend the front knee, step forward. Hands meet, Anjali Mudra. Nice, y'all. Awesome. I got to remember all that now for side two. It felt right, so I was going with it. All right, left leg forward, right leg back, triangle, side two. I always ask y'all to stay here for a few breaths. Why? Because if we just collapse, if we're down here, there's nowhere to bend into. But when you get tall and you open up those side bodies, now there's some place to bend into. When you're ready, hinge to the left side of the hip. Bring the hand down to the block or the floor. Inside the foot, a little more therapeutic, a little more accessible. Behind the foot, a little more challenging. It's not a right or wrong. It's just wherever you want to play. Everybody push down your big toe mound. Keep opening up that underside, the left side body. So you have to engage the right. Then fire that arm up. Yep, and start to play with the balance by looking up. Yep. And then push into that front heel. Come up nice and tall. Bend into that lead knee, warrior two. Yep, we're going to bind it. So as you tuck the back arm around, the front arm comes up. We slide back into that reverse warrior. Yeah, bend into that lead knee so it stacks right up on top of the ankle. Take a big breath on the outside of the ribs there and breathe up, and then you can curl back into it. Release the bind. Come, inhale back into that warrior two. Then push the leg straight, get tall. When you're ready, hinge at the hip, come into triangle. Work the triangle, just like we did. Take it to where you want to be. Then exhale the hand to the hip. Yep. Bend your front knee. Kick up or drag that foot in. Come to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. See, if we can't see our toes, it means our heel's back too far and the front of our top of our thighs coming forward. We don't want that. Keep the heel heavy on the left foot by reaching your right heel back to the wall behind you. Don't let your toes grip the mat. Maybe look up. Now scissor the legs together. Float back to that triangle. Yep. Then bend the front knee. Then step forward. Let the hands come together, Anjali Mudra. Let your thumbs come to heart center, like the center of your chest. Let your eyes close as you flick your heart out in front of you. Then just go back to the breath. Full breath in, complete breath out. A few rounds of these. Nice, Cheryl. That was beautiful. A ton of work right there. And then gently open the eyes, release the hands. Set the feet. Sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, take a nice big reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Now, if you want to stay static, hold your fold. If you want to be a little more dynamic on the inhale, look forward, charge the legs, feel the spine lengthen, even drag your fingers back to your toes. It's going to like pull your spine forward, and then go ahead and exhale into the pose again. Go deeper. Yep, you can do that with each breath. But again, some of you are going to like to be a little more static and hold. Some of you are going to be a little more dynamic. It's not a right or wrong. It's just where you want to play. I like to be dynamic in my postures because I like to just keep working with the breath. But doesn't mean you're not working with the breath. I want to work with the breath that way, in a more dynamic way. It's not like you're not working with your breath in the static hole, right? Same thing. It's just what feels good to you in this moment. What does that mean? That means if you wanted to do one static and one dynamic, you can, right? Because with each breath, new moment. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Next inhale, look forward. Walk the hands out in front of you. About a foot or so. Use your blocks. When you're ready, inhale the right leg straight back, standing split. Now we want to reach our right heel back until our left heel gets heavy. We don't want it. We should be able to move our toes. Not the ball of your foot, but your toes. Be able to wiggle them a little bit. Yep. If you want to go further, keep the right hand down, draw the left elbow back, take the twist. Yes. Start to look up, maybe challenge the balance. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower the leg. Take a breath. Reach the left leg straight back. When you reach it, when you lift the leg, lift from the inner upper edge of the thigh. If we lift from the outside of the hip's going to peel out. Yeah, you want your toes pointing straight down on that left leg, on the left foot. And then reach your left heel back to the wall behind you until that right heel gets heavy. You should feel it hit glute med and piriformis, like into the hip, those stabilizers. Then the left hand stays down. If you want to work the twist, the right elbow draws back. Yes. Maybe you even start to look up. And then inhale, come back to center. Let the exhale lower the leg. Walk the hands back in, sit back as the knees bend, swing the arms up, big reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, place the hands, step or jump back, downward dog. Work through one vinyasa. Is it a shoo kind of moment? I heard it. I heard a shoo. All right, lower your knees, sit back on your heels, child's pose, take a break. Yeah. I thought I heard like a shoo. I was like, that kind of sounds like a break kind of moment. All right. Were you making a mess over there? Don't worry about that shit. That's the least of our concerns.
I'll use this for now and then I'll get somebody from downstairs.
I'm from a family that like, some spilled water was kind of like a big deal, right? So like to me now, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's how I live my life, right? I don't get worked up over shit like that. Happens. All right, here we go. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down, all fours. Take a couple breaths. When you're ready, step back to plank, and then downward dog. Take your feet wide, walk your hands back, come to Malasana, squat pose. If you need more space, just roll up your blanket or your mat to get your heels lifted up a little bit. Then hug your knees in first. We got to engage these muscles. Then we could push our elbows out to start to stretch. Keep your pelvic floor pulling up. Don't just let it hang out. Yep. Pull your belly in. Pull your shutters closed. Now we got the core. Now if you want to stay here, right, stay here. If you want to work into your crow, you're going to lift your hips up and place your hands down, just like downward dog. My knees here, because I'm coming from Malasana, right? From here, they're going to be on the outsides of my arms. I can leave them there and I'm going to hug in a little more, or I could stack them on the back of my arms a little more. Then I'm going to walk my feet to the midline so my big toes are touching, my big toe mounds, and then I'm going to look forward. And as I look forward, the weight's going to start to shift forward. My fingertips are going to start to get like white because I'm clawing into the floor so strong. And my feet are going to start to float up. When your feet float up, pull your heels to your butt and push your arms straight. Or like you're trying to. So you keep pushing down into the floor. Yep. Nice, y'all. And that's crow. Right. All right. When you're ready, all fours, hands and knees. Take a couple breaths. Step back to plank. Downward dog. Reach your right leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Exhale, lower the back knee. Inhale, come up, hands to the bent knee. Now there's a little bit of balance here in this quad stretch, right? So you gotta hug in, you gotta push down, you gotta hug in. And bend your left knee, reach back with your left hand, grab your ankle, your foot, or your strap. Use your blanket to pad your knee or roll your mat over. Right? If you flip the mat over here, then you can put your knee on that as well. It'll double up the thickness of your mat. Draw the left hip forward like the oblique sling is your obliques on your left side to your adductors on your right. So you want to pull this way. Yep, you're going to bring that left shoulder forward. Now, as you drag the knee forward, the quad stretch is getting better. As you draw the heel towards the sit bone, it gets even better. And then if you want to flare the pose a little bit, the right arm comes in front, you plug it in, you bend your elbow, and you take your hands like fingers to the back of the head here. And now, draw your fingers in your head, push your head back in your fingers, maybe start to take the elbow to the sky a little bit. But it's here in the upper back, not in that lumbar. One more breath. Now watch the buoying as you release. Place the hands down, lift the back knee, downward dog. So some core in there, right, to hold this whole thing together. Reach the left leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Exhale, lower the back knee. Inhale, come up, hands to the bent knee. And just take a few breaths here while you set it all up. Then when you're ready, bend your right knee, reach back with your right hand. Ankle, foot, or strap. Start to drag the knee forward. Start to bring the right hip forward. Bring the right ribs forward. Right shoulder forward. Start dragging the knee. Keep that. Start drawing the heel towards the sit bone. Keep that. Pelvic floor, right on up. Right? Root the crown. And then if you want to go further, the left arm comes in front. Plug the head of the arm bone in. Bend the elbow. And then just maybe take the elbow to like where the ceiling and the wall meet. Yep. Nice, y'all. One more breath. Watch the buoying as you release. Hands down, lift the back knee, downward dog. Awesome. Move through one vinyasa. Inhale the right leg straight back. Come forward, right knee to left elbow. Back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Come forward, right knee to left elbow. Back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Come forward, kick the leg out to the side. Take the hips up and back like you're pushing back to downward dog. There's that TFL IT band. Yep, drag your right leg or your hip back to the right. But keep pushing back towards downward dog. You don't want shoulders on top of wrist crease. I feel like y'all are frothing for the arm balance. So inhale, come forward, shoulders to wrist crease. Spin to the inside of your left foot. Draw your left elbow back. Maybe reach the arm up to the sky. Yes, soften your face. Yep. Inhale, unwind, place the hand down, reach that right leg back to where the ceiling and the wall meet, and then exhale, lower it down. Reach the left leg straight back. Come forward, left knee to right elbow, back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Come forward, knee to opposite elbow, back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. This time, kick it out towards the brick wall. Lower the outside of the foot to the floor, yep. If y'all are playing with that variation we did last week or the week before, you're floating your leg, you surely can play with that. Now, we're opening up the TFL and IT band first, so keep pushing back towards like downward dog and dragging the leg back to the left. Now come forward, shoulders to wrist crease. Spin to the inside of the right foot. Draw the right elbow back. Maybe reach up, maybe look up. Yes. One more breath. Inhale, unwind. Place the hand down. Unwind that left leg. Reach it back to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Then exhale, lower it down. Exhale, lower your knees. Spin around to a seated position. So you can be here, you can be here, whatever your flavor is going to be, okay? It's definitely not a one's better than the other, okay? Now, I tend to teach this pose from the back body, not from the front body, okay? The pose is not this. We're not over crunching our belly here, right? It's this way. What's your core muscle that runs up your spine? Not the front, not these people here. I'm just teasing. Multifidus, right? Okay, that's the muscle that runs up your spine. That's your core muscle. We're trying to use those spinal erectors to lift up this way. This isn't the pose, right? This is too much front body, too much engaging my belly. It needs to be this way. Yeah, down on it. Yeah, there it is, there it is. Yeah, we're in the 60s. Hell yeah. I'm still here in boat pose. I'm like, yeah, 60s. All right, we ready? Come on, let's give it a try. So bring your feet out in front. Bring your arms out. Now spread your fingers and spread your toes because this is furthest from connection, right? So if this is just like dead weight, it's going to be hard to hold up. Here we go. Inhale, lift the legs. Play where you want, knees bent, legs straight. Now, you know I like the Ardha Navasana, the lay back. So maybe we go halfway. There's that shake right away. Inhale, come up. That's why I like it, right? The shake is good. Halfway. Inhale, come up. Back of the heart up through the front of the chest. Yeah, work that spine. Halfway. We're going for 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, halfway. Yep, don't let yourself see yourself sweat. Inhale, come up. Stay calm, like, oh, I love this shit, right? That's where we're at. Halfway. We do love this shit, right? This is just on the edge. Inhale, come up. So it's a lot of work. One more breath. Was that good? Extra one. Halfway. And come up. Exhale, release. Awesome, y'all. Fire log. So you're going to try to get your shins parallel with the front of the mat the best that you can. Okay? Now, if your foot is up on top of your thigh, this is a lot more challenging. You got to be real careful of your knee here. So I just bring my foot just below my knee so it's on my shin, and you could see they stack up a little bit easier here. Your block or your bolster, your blanket would be your friend to boost up a little bit. Push out of the big toe mounts. You'll hear me say it every time we put our knee in this position. Knees work awesome this way and terrible this way. So you got to be careful. You got to keep this engaged. So as we do put the knee in this position, it's in a positive way, right? So push out like you're pushing on a gas pedal. And that will shoot the energy up the leg and start to protect the knee joint a little bit. Then sit up tall. Then maybe take that little bit of a hinge forward. Chin is back. This wants to happen. Don't let it. It's this way. Throat back, chest comes down first. And we're in the back of the hip here, down the back of the legs. This one tends to get both sides. Awesome. Yes, beautiful movements. Couple more breaths. Don't lose that engagement, pushing out of those big toe mounts. Pulling the pinky toe side of the foot back. And then inhale, come up. Release the legs. Swap side 2. For those of us that are tight in the back of the hip, that's me. You see, that's why my knee doesn't want to just settle on my foot, right? Because I'm stretching out these muscles and it's a challenge. Just happens to be, right? Something's always going to be tight on you. Something's going to be accessible, right? A little more loose or open. That's just the game. All right, when you're ready, root into the sit bones, into the outside of the foot and the outside of that knee and sit up tall. And then when you hinge at the hip crease, not at your belly. We've been working on that a couple times today. The crunch of the belly is one of those misalignments. And go slow. Yeah, if we rush and we tend to hit like the negative side and then we got to unwind, right, and rebuild. And that doesn't make it efficient. And we've talked about it. This shit is hard, right? So we're not trying to waste anything. Anything that we create, we want to hold on to. Couple more breaths. Nice poses, y'all. Then inhale, come up, unwind the legs. Okay. Spin around all 4 hands and knees. Take a couple breaths. When you're ready, step back the plank. Make your way back to downward dog. Work through one vinyasa. We're going to put it all together now, okay? Play wherever you feel good, okay? There's going to be many bus stops. You can stop wherever you like, okay? From downward dog, reach the right leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Spin the back heel, come up, bent arm to bent knee, Parsva. Now we got to bind it. Oh, let me go over here. So from here, I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to go under my leg, and I'm going to bring like my fingernails to my butt cheek. I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to clasp, or I'm going to drop the strap from my left hand into my right. That'll give me the space to make up. Then I'm going to look forward so the spine gets long. Now I'm going to take the left shoulder back to start to work into that bound Parsva. Yep. Now, step your left foot forward. Yep. So your feet are parallel. Shift the weight over to the left foot. Yeah. Push down into that left leg as you come up. Reach your right heel to where the two walls are meeting, like at the front of the room. Yes. There's your birds of paradise. Now, lower the leg back down to the floor. You're going to release your bind, okay? The right hand's going to go to the outside of the right foot. The left hand's going to go just like it was in crow. The right foot is going to go forward. The left knee's on the back of the arm. Yes. Yes, Nat. Yes. And then when you're ready, lower down, start to unwind. Just meet wherever you're at. We're in a couple of different spots, right? We're going to go back to all fours, right? But if you're standing, work your way back down. We'll meet sitting back on our heels or something just so we could talk it out. Did that make sense? That was a lot of shit, right? No doubt. Mm-hmm. You want to demo it out for us? I'll talk it through. Okay, so here's the bound. We're coming out of the bound Parsva. Then we're going to take the left hand is to the outside of that left foot. I'm mirroring. This is the opposite side, right? This right side is just like you were in crow. See what's going on? This leg's in crow, okay? This leg's in Titibasana. It's where the heel's going to go out straight, right? So they're opposite here. Yeah. And see where it's at? That's where the pose goes. So super asymmetrical, right? Want to give it a try? Come on. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down, all fours. Take a couple breaths. When you're ready, back to plank and then downward dog. Remember, if you've never done this before and you went to bound Parsva, you even thought about it, that's further than last time, right? That's success. That's you moving your practice forward. It's not about the final expression, right? Sometimes it's just about like thinking about it or working through that trip all the way up. Reach the left leg straight back, step it through, lunge. Spin the back heel, come up, bent arm to bent knee. Right? That's like one of my favorite parts about yoga. It's not trying to give you anxiety. It's not trying to fire you up. It's just, well, it is in a good way, but it's not trying to beat you up, right? It's about empowering you, not beating you down. That's what yoga's supposed to be about. Play with the Parsva for a second or two, wherever it is. Then we go, this left hand goes under, fingernails towards my butt. Then right hand goes up and over. I drop the strap or I clasp the hands. Then look forward to the front right corner of your mat. There's the spine. Now start to take the right shoulder back. Yep. Then maybe we step the right foot forward so that your feet are parallel like train tracks. This time you're going to shift the weight to the right leg. Yes. When you inhale, come up, keep driving into the right heel. Keep the heel heavy. Then kick your foot towards where the two walls meet on the left side of the room. There's your birds of paradise. Now, if you want to stay here, stay here. You want to lower the left leg down into the arm balance. You're going to release the bind. The left hand goes to the outside of the left foot. That's going to be your Titibasana side. Your right arm comes in front and the knee goes to the elbow. That's your crow side. Yes. Go ahead, y'all. Beautiful. Yep. Yes. Nice. And then meet wherever we're at, right? And we'll make our way down to all fours. Don't worry about that. What you think on that side? Yeah, put the blanket on top of it. That's fine. Pretty good? A lot, right? Of course it was. All right, grab your mats, find a spot on the wall. We'll go upside down. We'll do it kind of quickly. Use up all the space. Some of y'all might want to come up front. Some of you want to work underneath the lights. As long as you're going to do downward dog and elbow pose, work under the lights. If you're going to kick up in your handstand, headstand, tripod, pincha, any of those, Just make sure you're away from the lights. If you're at home, you don't have the wall to kick up on, you can always lay on your back. Knees bent, feet are on the floor, and then interlace your hands behind the back of the thigh as you reach the heel to the sky. And then take a bunch of breaths. And then you can swap into side two. If you are at home or in the studio, and it's not your day to invert, you're always welcome to go legs up the wall or do a pose that feels good to you, okay? I'm gonna talk everyone through downward dog and L pose, but like I said, if you wanna work your handstands, your tripods, or your pinches, or anything else you wanna do, you're more than welcome to go with those. Trina's gonna be walking around now, so if you have any questions, grab her, okay? She'll help you work out a pose or help you get up. Once I get everybody up, I'll walk around too. If you need me, grab me as well. All right? So if you're going to stick with me, let's go all fours, hands and knees, feet are touching the wall. If you're going to go on your own, go for it. All right? So with me, all fours, hands and knees, feet are touching the wall. We're going to build up that all fours, just like we did a couple times today. Then when you're ready, lift the knees and the hips so you're in a short downward dog. Check in. You feel comfortable? Step one foot up the wall. Still feel comfortable? Step the second foot up the wall. With your knees bent, you'll be in downward dog inverted. With your legs straight, you'll be in L pose. We did standing split today. So you might want to take that leg up in your L pose, make that shape. Nice, y'all. Stay as long as feels good to you. And maybe you come down, you rest a little bit, maybe you go again. We'll be here for, another like minute and a half, so take your time. Play around. Yeah, Nat. Yes. That's tight.
Thanks.
That's nice. I look really good. When your feet fall this way, push down into your elbows. When you need your feet to come off the wall, push down into your wrists. You feel that? It'll start to bring the weight the opposite way. In handstand, I'm talking, I go against the wall too, right? So when you want your feet to come away from the wall, you're going to push into your fingertips. When you need to go back to the wall, you're going to push to your knuckle pads, right? And that's how you're going to go back and forth. Here, and when we were in pincha or headstand, whatever one we're going to work, right? Whether your head's on the floor or whether it's not. If you push down into your wrists, right? It's going to bring you this way. If you push down in your elbows, it's going to bring you back this way. And that's how we can balance back and forth. So give yourself another like 30 seconds. Go for it if you're about to kick up. If you're inverted out, we'll meet on our backs. Look awesome, yo. Did you just go down? Did you just slip? No. Oh. I thought I like my peripheral. I saw you like bloop.
I will.
All right.
Every time you go, look, she's going nowhere. I have this inner desire to just fall.
You shouldn't have told me, and you should have done that. Damn, you should have done that. I would have died laughing right there. It fell right on the floor. So Trina's saying that when I always use her as a demo when I walk, I'm like, look, she goes nowhere. She was going to collapse down. And I was like, oh, you should have done that. That would have been so good. All right, let's meet on our backs. All right, meet on our backs when you're ready, when you work your way down. Bridge and wheel. I'll talk you into 2 back bends. We've done standing back bends today. We've been working those, right? So here we'll talk it up a little bit deeper so we get the idea of what's happening in this pose, right? Just like we did before in all our poses. The more we understand, the more we can feel, the deeper we can take the pose. So let's start knees bent, feet are on the floor, and they're like train tracks, so they're parallel. You can feel your heels with your fingertips. That's how we know our knees are on top of our ankles. Head and shoulders are back, and sacrum is flat. So right here's your sacrum. This should be flat on the floor. Now you got to engage your legs. So how do we do that? We push our heels down and we sweep our inner heels out. That shoots to our butt cheek, glute med and piriformis. We hug our shins in. That pulls the energy up the inside of the thighs. We pull our heels to our butt. That engages the back of the legs. The belly's in, the shutters are closed. When you're ready, slowly lift the hips. What do I tell y'all every week? You're strong, so be careful you don't overlift your hips to the sky. We're not trying to hammer our pubic bone to the ceiling. We're trying to still keep the top of the thighs back, and we're trying to back bend under our shoulder blades. So from here in bridge, if you gently push your feet down and forward, you're gonna feel that back bend happen underneath your shoulder blades. That's where we want it to be. Then the knees reach forward, the upper palate of the mouth reaches back, the throat opens up. And stay engaged as you lower down. See if you get that sacrum to land flat. Feet go wide, knees touch, one hand on your heart, one hand on your low belly. Full breath in, complete breath out. Now on the second one, I'll first bring you into bridge, and then I'll take you into wheel. Play wherever you feel good at. All right, inhale, open the knees, reset the feet. Bring the arms along the sides. Yep. Charge the legs up. Fire up that core. And when you're ready, slowly lift your hips, come to bridge. Now you can stay here if you want, take the shoulders under a little bit deeper, play around. You want to go wheel, place your hands wide to the edges of your mat, turn your hands out. Your elbows are going to come in line with the outside of your shoulders. We want that. Now plug your shoulders back so we integrate nice and deep, and then push down to come up. If you need more space, lift your heels up. It'll lengthen the curve. It'll make the back bend more accessible. But keep your heels, your inner heels, sweeping out. Maybe pump your heart towards the wall you're looking at, and you could slide those shoulders deeper onto your back. And then wherever you're at, one more breath. When you're ready, slowly lower down. Take the feet wide, let the knees touch. If your right hand was on your heart last time, left hand on your heart, opposite hand to your low belly. And then from here, windshield wiper side to side. Come to neutral, take the legs out straight, reach the arms up overhead, take a big stretch. Spread the fingers, spread the toes. And hug your knees to your chest. Keep your knees bent, lower your feet to the floor. Inhale your right leg up, cross it nice and tight over your left. Let your hips scooch to the right a little bit, let your knees fall to the left. Keep breathing up above your waist. Yep. And the more space you want to feel like you're peeling up out of the way, so side bodies are getting longer. And then we're going to rotate or twist that right shoulder a little deeper into the mat. Inhale, come back to center. Scoot yourself back to the middle. The scooch is only to keep on your mat. Unwind the legs. Inhale your left leg up. Cross it nice and tight over your right. The hips are going to scooch to the right as the knees settle towards the... No. Hips to the left, knees to the right. Belly's in, shutters are closed. We don't want to just manipulate ribs, right? We're looking to rotate through that spine. You'll notice when you pull your belly in and your shutters closed, it almost unwinds the twist a little bit. That's taking the manipulation out of it. That was just your rib cage manipulating to make a twist. But we don't want that, right? We want it to be optimal. Obliques, spinal erectors, those are the muscles that twist us. Inhale, come back to center, unwind the legs, reach them out. Big stretch. And then hug your knees to your chest. Happy baby. Ananda Balasana. I feel like I have a whole nother thing I wanted to do with you all today, but we ran out of time, so we'll do that next time. So in Ananda Balasana, happy baby, sacrum is flat. We've talked about sacrum a couple times today, so keep this flat. What wants to happen is your butt wants to fly to the sky and you want to roll to your lumbar spine. Don't let that happen. Keep the sacrum flat. Then keep the knees wide so that they're wider than your shoulders. And then draw your knees towards your ears. And then you got an opener back of the hip. We're on the inside of the thighs. That was a spot we worked on today. We did back of the legs. If you want to get to the back of the legs one more time, start to straighten your legs. You could do one of them. You could do all of them, wherever you want to play. And when you're ready, inhale the knees to center. Exhale the legs out straight. We'll take Shavasana. Beautiful practice, crew. Feel free to add or remove layers or props. I'm going to talk everyone through laying flat, but you're more than welcome to do a variation if you'd like. Variations could be inner thighs would be Supta Baddha Konasana, but put the blocks on the outsides of the thighs so that they're not stressed out here. Yep, you're giving some support. You could always go blanket or blocks underneath your knees. That'll help for the hip flexors. You could go heart bench, right? Whatever feels good to you. And here's the legs. Reach out, let the feet gently roll open. Bring the arms along the sides. Let the shoulders settle back. Let your head rest back. Maybe let your eyes close. The tongue soften from the roof of the mouth. Allow the body to get heavy. Let the mind soften back to the breath. Let the heart open. The heart's going to move the practice from the mat to the yoga of life. It's going to bring us from the yoga of life to the mat again to practice. In the yoga of life, there will be many challenges. We follow the same path as we do here on the mat. We take a breath, we set a foundation, we engage, and we express. You know, as humans with emotions and feelings, sometimes we need to take a couple breaths. Sometimes we need to reset that foundation a few times. But that's what we learn in our practice. Just keep moving forward. Pause when we need to, reset, and move again. That's how we make change for ourselves and change for each other. Change for those around us, our communities. It's how we make lasting change. Because the work we do is tough. So when we make something and we create it, we want to hold on to it so we can build and make it even greater. Begin here to draw in a deeper breath. Feel the breath washing over the body, fingers to toes, crown of the head through the heart. Reawakening that better version of yourself. As the connection grows, let the fingers and the toes wiggle. Let the arms and the legs stretch or reach or move in a way that feels good to you. Taking your time, moving slowly, moving consciously. When you're ready, you can hug your knees to your chest and just roll to the right side. Take a couple breaths here. Take your hands under your head like a pillow. Just let yourself reacclimate. When you're ready, you can push your hands down as you come up to a seated position. We'll meet together with our eyes closed and our hands in front of our hearts. One more time together to seal in our practice, our time with our Kula, our yoga family. Together, the sound of Om. All together, deep breath in. Beautiful. As we softly bow our head to our hearts, our heads to each other's hearts. For all of that hard work, that determination, that challenge, the love and the support that you always give each other, it's to you that I bow. Namaste. Thanks, crew. Super fun as always. Thank you, Trina. You know, if y'all have any questions, grab us before you go. Something feels weird in your body, definitely get me before you go. Maybe I'll see some of y'all next week. If not, I'll see you soon. Thanks, crew. Home crew, you know, if you need me, hit me up. You're welcome, y'all.